Managing Unionized Employees, a first-time supervisor's guide to success. The first time I had to address a performance issue with a unionized employee, I spent several sleepless nights reading and rereading contract language, worrying about grievance procedures and second-guessing if the pending discipline was really that important as well as every word I planned to use in the conversation. I had heard horror stories about managers who made small mistakes that resulted in a grievance, arbitration, and damaged relationships that lasted for years. Over time, I discovered something that no training had ever taught me. Most union representatives want the same thing you do: a productive, respectful workplace where good employees thrive and problems get resolved fairly. The adversarial relationship that many new supervisors fear is not inevitable. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy, everyone agrees, and it's sunshine and roses. What I'm saying is overall, we have the same goals. But here's the reality. Managing in a unionized environment does require different skills, knowledge, and approaches than non-union supervision. The rules are more formal and the processes are more structured. Understanding how to work effectively within this framework isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about creating positive relationships that benefit everyone involved. If you're a first-time supervisor stepping into a unionized environment, or if you're struggling to find your footing with union relations, this guide will help you understand what you need to know to be successful. So, understanding the union perspective. Before you can effectively manage a unionized environment, you need to understand why unions exist and what they're trying to accomplish. This isn't about whether you personally support or oppose unionization. It's about understanding the reality of your work environment and the legitimate concerns that unions represent. Historical context. Unions were developed to protect workers from unfair treatment, unsafe conditions, and arbitrary management decisions. While workplace protections have improved significantly over the decades, unions continue to serve as advocates for increased wages, benefits, different working conditions, and due process in disciplinary matters. The protection mandate. Union representatives are legally obligated to represent all members fairly, even in situations where they personally might agree with management's position, or even think that what their union member did was downright dumb. It doesn't matter. They need to fairly represent them. Then, toss in right to work in Michigan. With right to work, the union has to represent anyone covered by the contract, even if they aren't members. It's a bit odd, to be honest. Understanding this helps you avoid taking union advocacy personally and recognize it as part of their professional responsibility. Common concerns. Most union concerns fall into several categories: fair treatment and consistent application of policies, safe working conditions and adequate resources, reasonable workloads and schedules, respect for seniority and established procedures, and clear communication about changes that affect members. Look at that list again and see if any of these seem unreasonable to you. I'm guessing you look at that list and see that the concerns align with what you, as a good supervisor, are aiming to provide your team. So please realize the conflict often comes not from disagreement about goals, but from different perspectives on how to achieve them. Know your contract, like really know it. The Collective Bargaining Agreement, or CBA, is your roadmap for managing unionized employees. It's not optional reading. It's the foundation of your supervisory authority and the framework within which you operate. If you rely on your HR person to know it all and you don't, read that part again, please. Key sections to master. Management rights. Understand what authority you have and how it can be exercised appropriately. This section typically outlines your ability to assign work, set schedules, and make operational decisions. Documentation procedures. When things go right or wrong, as a supervisor, it's your job to document the situation. Know what needs to be documented, when, and how. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Discipline and discharge. Understand the progressive discipline policy. What constitutes just cause and what steps must be taken. And past practice. Pay attention to how things have been done historically. If patterns exist, if things are handled a certain way, even if they're different from what the CBA language says, they are now law. They are binding even if they aren't in your contract. Think about past practice as well as your choices moving forward, as they will create past practice for the future. Building relationships, the foundation of success. The most successful managers in unionized environments are those who build positive relationships, not only with their employees, but also the union representatives, based on mutual respect and shared goals. So start with common ground. Begin conversations by identifying shared objectives. You both want a safe, productive workplace, fair treatment for all employees, clear communication and minimal surprises, resolution of problems before they escalate, and success for the organization and its employees. So regular communication. Don't wait for problems to arise before talking with union representatives. Work with your management team to establish regular communication channels to discuss upcoming changes that might affect union members, budget constraints or resource challenges, training opportunities and employee development, and safety concerns or operational improvements. Transparency and trust. Be honest about challenges, constraints, and decision-making processes. Union representatives are more likely to work with you when they understand the full picture, rather than feeling like they're being told only part of the story. Just take that thought and put it to yourself. Don't you work better with all the information? They are just the same as you. Respect their role. Acknowledge that union representatives have a legitimate role in the workplace and that their representation of members serves important purpose. This doesn't mean you have to agree with every position they take, but it does mean treating them as partners rather than adversaries. Working with union representatives. Union representatives, whether stewards, business agents, or elected officials, are key relationships that affect your success as a supervisor. Understanding their position. Union representatives are elected or appointed by their peers and have obligations to their membership. They may take positions that seem unreasonable to you, but make sense from their perspective of representing members' interests. Professional courtesy. Treat union representatives with the same professional courtesy you'd extend to any workplace partner. They have legitimate roles and responsibilities that deserve respect. Information sharing. Share information appropriately and in a timely manner. Union representatives can help you communicate changes to members and can provide valuable feedback about employee concerns. Problem prevention. Work with union representatives to identify and address potential issues before they become formal problems. They often have insights into employee concerns that can help you prevent larger issues. Building a positive labor relations culture. Great labor relations don't happen by accident. They're built through intentional actions and consistent commitment to mutual respect and problem solving. Joint problem solving. Look for opportunities to work together on workplace improvements, such as safety initiatives, efficiency improvements, training programs, policy development, and so much more. Recognition and appreciation. Recognize good performance and positive contributions from union members just as you would any employee. Don't let the formal structure of labor relations prevent you from acknowledging excellent work. Professional development. Support training and development opportunities for union members. This demonstrates your commitment to their success and often aligns with union interests in member advancement. Open door policy. Make yourself accessible for informal discussions about workplace issues. Many problems can be resolved through conversation before they become formal grievances. So coming up next, in our next blog post, we'll dive deep into the practical side of union management, handling disagreements, managing performance, navigating the grievance process, and avoiding common pitfalls that can damage your relationships and credibility. So what challenges have you faced building relationships in a unionized environment? What strategies have helped you establish trust with union representatives? Share your experiences in the comments. And as always, carry social kindness with you everywhere you go. The world needs you and your positive mindset. Thank you for listening.